guys, I'm doing the answer video to the question and answer video I made a few days ago. The cornflakes are not here anymore. I don't eat cornflakes. I don't know who in my house does, but they've disappeared apparently, so sorry. First question, Shadow Soul Creator wants to know what my most anticipated movie of 2011 is. I have a few. All of the book series movies that are coming out this year, for sure, and Tree of Life, definitely. Cassie Smith wants to know what my favorite movie is of all time. The Wizard of Oz is my favorite movie of all time, but I have so many favorite movies. That's my number one. But some other movies that I love, Frequency, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. It's just incredible. Unbreakable, Signs, M. Night Shyamalan is my favorite. And then, Clueless, Legally Blonde, just those timeless comedies that, they're just great. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is my favorite comedy movie of all time, though. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off is number one comedy for me. Breakfast Club, any John Hughes movies. Yeah, I have the biggest list of favorite movies. She also wants to know what the best memory I have is. Of course, going to the 2009 VMAs is one of the best memories that I have. It was the best day. For my 13th birthday, I was in California, and I went on a tour of the Kodak Theater. That's where they have the Academy Awards. And I don't remember, the person that was giving, there was a group of us, a tour. She said if anybody was an actor or anything and performed like a performer. And I was, it was my birthday, and I was, 13, so I was acting, before I was 13. And I was like, me? And there was this other girl who said she danced, and so we were both there, and we're like, well, I act and she dances. And the tour lady said, okay, you guys can stand, because we were on the stage of the Kodak Theater where, like I said, the Oscars are held, and she said that we could, stand on stage and, yell, thank you for the Oscar, whatever. And the other girl was too, embarrassed, so she was like, oh, I don't want to. So I was like, all right, move aside. And, yeah, I did. It was so cool. I stood right where everybody stands, and I said, to an empty theater, I was like, thank you, oh, whatever, blah, 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 and it was just, amazing. I feel really lucky that I got to do that, and it was on my 13th birthday, so it was just a very good memory. Big Kreggers wants to know what was the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't really remember the movies that I really hate. I usually just forget about them. So, I'm sure there's a list. I mean, a movie, I don't really hate any movies. Movies that I really disliked. I remember Dark Water. Whenever that came out, I saw it in theaters, and I don't know how old I was, but I was like, this movie is terrible. I remember that being one of the first movies that I was like, this sucks. And I don't know, it just is so bad. If you guys remember that, let me know, because it was just ridiculous. District 9, I really, really did not like it. I can't really remember. I mean, there are, of course, other movies that I didn't like, but I just kind of forget about them. Peas and Honey wants to know, have any of the people you cranked called you back? I block my number. Some people leave comments on my prank call videos, and they're like, oh, well, this is funny but really dumb because they'll call you back because they have your number. And I'm like, I block my number, but okay. So I block my number. They can't get my number. Randig Citron wants to know, Team Edward or Jacob? And also, greetings from Sweden. Hello, Sweden. I am 100% Team Edward. Team Edward. I really think Jacob is annoying. Twilight Saga, oddly enough, Twilight Saga 1226 wants to know, would you rather be ugly and rich or beautiful and poor? Ugly and rich or beautiful and poor? Ugly and rich. Well, the thing is, if you're beautiful and poor, you can probably become a model and then be rich or, have money. But if you're ugly and rich, you could just have fun with their money and go on vacations and everything. So I don't know, I guess whichever one. I would go with the rich one because I would never want to be poor. They also want to know, how old was I when I started acting? I did The Lion King. I was young Nala when I was really young, But that was just for fun. I didn't really care about acting when I did that. I did that at like a camp. It was like not a big deal. When I was probably 10, the city girl 212 wants to know, what acting jobs have I done? I've done professional theater. I've worked with Broadway actors. I've just worked with amazing people. Some people think that like you're not an actor if you don't have like IMDb credits. Anybody can make an IMDb. You right now can sign up for IMDb and create your own little page and put whatever you want on it. Anybody can do it. Just because you're not like in movies and TV, you know, those people who get to be in those things are extremely lucky. You have no idea how insanely impossible it is to even get an audition. It's a whole crazy business. People who aren't in it don't really understand. So yeah, if you're one of those people that's like, oh, well, you're not an actor because you're not on IMDb, or, you know, what movies have you been in? Theater is the hardest thing to do. For theater, I've still had to audition and, you know, audition with hundreds of other people, and I still, you know, got in the shows. So it's very competitive on both, completely competitive on both, you know, the stage and film and TV. The Jordan King wants to know, at what number of subscribers would you suggest that someone can apply for partner? It does not have to do with subscribers. It's like, I've read somewhere that if you have like at least 50,000 total upload views, then it's like you could apply and your chances could be good. But I think if you have like, I don't know, I really don't know. I think like, because I know some people who are partners that really don't get a lot of views per video. I don't know. I think if you have a consistent audience for each video, then it's like, you know, close to 1,000 or over 1,000, then I would say that's good. Oh snap, it's Amb wants to know, have I ever lived anywhere besides Long Island? Nope. Miss Sophie wants to know, what's the best thing about New York? Aside from the money and the politics, I think living in New York is the best place to live. I feel very fortunate to live in New York. I cannot imagine not living in New York. Alicia Zamora 05 wants to know, what was the best thing to happen to me in 2010? I can't really remember everything that happened, but one of them is going to see the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. It was amazing. Samark and Chan wants to know, if you could live in any fantasy universe, like everything from Gossip Girl to Harry Potter, where would you live and why? I was just thinking about this today in the car. That's so weird. 150 million% I would live in the Harry Potter world. I am so upset that it's not real. You have no idea. It's like depressing because it's not real. So I'll never get to go to Hogwarts or fly on a firebolt or cast a spell or do any of that cool stuff. But Harry Potter and I have the same birthday, so I think that makes me a little bit closer to being a wizard. They also want to know what my favorite time of day is and why. Afternoon is definitely my favorite time of the day. I don't know why. I think the sun looks really nice when it's setting. Do I speak any languages besides English? I speak a little bit of Spanish, really not that much. You know, it's just like you learn in high school, whatever. If not, which ones would you like to learn? If I could just magically make myself speak one language, another language in addition to this one, definitely French. Overly something 12. Have I ever visited Michigan? No.